everything would begin on the planet of Kaiosama in the north, where Goku and Vegeta would meet, who were about to have a fight against the king of everything, and all the gods were gathered to witness the show. "Goku and Vegeta are going to fight! Goku and Vegeta are going to fight!" Zeno-sama would say that very excited. Zeno-sama has waited a long time for this fight, especially because the level of Mr. Goku and Mr. Vegeta are the same. Grand Priest would explain. "Very well, Vegeta, I will show you that I am stronger than you," Goku would say. "Ha! If you want, insect, I will make you pieces," Vegeta would say proudly. "Who do you think you are, Mr. Bills?" Whis would ask, very excited about the fight. "It is very difficult to know. Both have the same power," Bills would answer. Goku and Vegeta would start fighting after the order of Grand Priest. Both would reach the other with a fist blow. Their fists would collide with each other, creating a great explosion of energy. "Goku and Vegeta are very strong," Zeno-sama would say, appreciating the fight. The gods of destruction and the Kaioshin of the other universes were terrified. "I do not like this at all," Bills would say. "Mr. Bills, what is it that worries you?" Kaioshin would ask. "He only observes the other gods," Whis would say, noticing the hostility in them. "Envy escapes them by the skin, and that does not give me a good thorn," Bills would comment. The battle became more and more intense. Both Saiyans used a variety of surprising techniques, but their levels were so even that it cost one to fall. After several minutes of fighting, Goku and Vegeta were very tired and with their clothes destroyed, although they did not lose their transformations. Both would be stopped staring at each other. The atmosphere between them became more and more tense. Both Goku and Vegeta would connect the same punch in the other at the same time, and they would stay in that position for several seconds. Then both would throw the same kick in the ribs of the other, and they would stay in the same position. After a breath, both would hit their fronts with each other. So they would use that attack 5 times. "Why are you copying? Is it a game?" Grand Priest would ask. "None of that, sir. It is a sequel for training and fighting together for so long," Grand Priest would answer. Both know each other so well in techniques and personality that in intuitive way, they manage to predict the attack of the other. In the same way, they also understand that the other will predict their attack, and so on. "And now how are you going to do?" Zeno-sama would ask. "Well, see who can stand it the most," Grand Priest would say. Goku and Vegeta had understood it. They would not get anywhere fighting that way. Both would accentuate with a gesture and take distance from each other. Goku would prepare a Kamehameha while Vegeta his final glow. "This will end with who resists the most," Whis would say. Both would launch their attacks. When colliding with each other, the gods would be blinded by the great amount of light they emitted. A giant energy ball would be created in the middle of the impact between the Kamehameha and the final glow. None of the Saiyans surrendered. They were willing to die if it was to show who was the strongest. Finally, each of the 12 angels and the Supreme Priest would create a barrier to protect the other gods. Finally, the energy ball would explode. Goku and Vegeta would get lost in the lighting of the explosion. When it was all over, both Saiyans were lying on the ground, totally defeated. "That was fantastic," Zeno-sama would say. Whis and Bills were proud of their disciples, but the other gods looked very unhappy. "Well," Bills would say. "Of course, sir." Whis would smile as he went down to the platform to heal them. "I'll help you," Bardock would say to go with him. "Bardock, come here," Champa would say, but Bardock would ignore him. Bardock and Whis would heal Goku and Vegeta in an instant. Both would wake up without knowing the result. "Who won?" Goku would ask. "Well, of course I won," Vegeta would answer, sure of himself. "Well, it was actually a tie," Bardock would say. "It was a tie," Whis would say with a laugh. "Oh, it can't be, after so much." Goku said something sad. "At least you won't have the right to say you're the strongest," Vegeta would say, making fun of Goku. "But Vegeta, you can't say that either. Besides, you almost certainly cheated," Goku would say. "What do you mean cheating, you damned insect?" Vegeta would scream furiously. Grand Priest and Zeno-sama would go down to the platform. "That was the best fight I've ever seen," Zeno-sama would say, "but I'm not satisfied. Until I defeat Vegeta, I will not stop training," Goku would say. "Great, so we can repeat it," Zeno-sama would say. You'll have time to get even stronger, Grand Priest would say. The gods looked furious. They didn't like Goku or Vegeta at all. As for you, Grand Priest would say, showing a sinister expression, I'm afraid to inform you that Zeno-sama is very disappointed with you. The gods of destruction have the obligation to be stronger than their mortals, Zeno-sama would say. For some reason, they are gods. So start training, Zeno-sama would order. That goes for you too, Bills, Champa would say. So this is part of your responsibility, Mr. Bills. Right now, Mr. Bills is the most powerful god of destruction, Grand Priest would point out. That's not possible. He was always the weakest, Harris would say with great envy. Well, it turns out that by having Goku and Vegeta in charge, he has been motivated to overcome himself. If he had to fight with you, you would need 2 gods to defeat him. In some cases, according to what gods, up to 3, Grand Priest would explain. Bills went from being the weakest to the strongest. So train or I'll change you, Zeno-sama would threaten. Minutes later, all the gods would return to their universes, while Goku and Vegeta would go to the planet of Bills with their gods. Hey, Mr. Bills, I've noticed it very seriously. Are you mad at us? Goku would ask. It's not that. He's worried about the other gods, Whis would say. I didn't like the expression on them. I'm afraid they are planning something, Bills would say seriously.
Goku would observe Whis and Bills. His body would begin to release steam as he squeezed his teeth. Then he would walk slowly towards them. Whis would call Bills. I'm just waiting a moment, Whis would say seriously. Great Zeno-sama, we should leave him out of combat between us, Margarita would intervene. Goku would recognize Margarita's voice. He would remember that she was among the gods who betrayed him. You! Goku would increase his ki and throw himself at Margarita with a fist blow. Margarita would be able to resist the blow by covering herself with her scabbard. It is a lack of respect that a mortal dares to attack an angel, Margarita would say, offended. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan, and with that transformation, he would be able to connect a fist blow on Margarita. Goku just hit an angel, Zeno-sama would say, amazed. Great sir, do you want me to stop him? Grand Priest would ask. No, I want to see how much he can fight like that, Zeno-sama would say, since he was curious to see how strong Goku could become in that state of anger. Margarita would retreat several meters. She would get into a ready-to-fight position to fight. If you want it that way, I'll give you what you deserve, furious Margarita would say. Margarita would hit Goku hard with a kick that would throw him away. Goku would manage to regain his posture. Despite the strength of the attack, it was not enough to lose the fight. Goku's power is out of our imagination, Bill would say without being able to believe what he was seeing. Goku would begin to increase his ki. Then he would scream, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. He can't have that power, Margarita would say, terrified. From one moment to another, Goku was in front of Margarita. He had connected a strong punch to his stomach. Margarita would fall to the ground on her knees. She could hardly move. Very well, my children. You must fight against Mr. Goku, but without killing him, Grand Priest would order. With the exception of Bardock and Whis, of course. That will be your punishment. The rest of the angels were ready to fight. They had surrounded Goku. Goku was stronger than the angels themselves, Bill would say, terrified. He was witnessing how Immortal had completely surpassed the angels, the most powerful beings of the 2 universes. What could happen now that Goku is out of control and is stronger than the angels themselves? Will the angels be able to contain Goku from his state of anger and rage? And also, what decision will he make in Osama after everything happens? Will he make all the angels disappear? We will know that in the next part of this theory, friends. I hope you have loved the movie of Goku and Vegeta betrayed by the gods. Remember that if you want to see more parts of this theory, this video has to reach 150 likes, many comments, and subscribe for more theories. See you in the next video.
Father, how can we help you? Margarita would ask. I see that they are all gathered, except for Bardock and Whis. Grand Priest would appreciate. There are also their respective gods of destruction and some Hakaishins. Great Priest, we are gathered to exchange information and learn from ourselves, Jerez would say. I don't remember when I asked you that, Grand Priest would say seriously. All the gods of destruction would make a reverence. They were terrified. "Why is Mr. Iya sleeping?" Grand Priest would ask. None of the gods of destruction would answer, and the few Hakaishins who were present were afraid to say a single word. "Well, now that I ask a question, no one answers." Grand Priest would say something annoying. "And now what do we do?" Quitella would ask. Senno-sama would show through the scabbard. "Where is Goku?" Senno-sama would ask with a very serious expression. "Great Senno-sama," Bermuda would say, terrified. "I asked for Goku. I want to see him," Senno-sama would say without changing the seriousness with which he spoke. "I think it would be better to ask Bills since Goku belongs to Universe 7, Jaras would say, terrified. "Are you saying I'm stupid?" Senno-sama would ask. "Not at all, Great Lord," Jaras would answer, about to cry. And then Whis would look at his head. "What Senno-sama means is that he already knows that Goku is there with you," Whis would say with a smile. Bills and Champa would be shown by the Supreme Priest when moving his scabbard. The gods did not know how to react. "Mr. Champa has been kind to tell us what happens," Grand Priest would explain. "And for that reason, Bills has contacted Vegeta and told us what happened. Because of him, Kakaroto's son is dead, and we have been forced to hurt our loved ones and put Universe 7 in danger," Vegeta would say, who was also there. "As for my children, why haven't they notified this situation?" Grand Priest would ask. The angels would now be terrified. "We feel it, Father. We only fulfill our function as servants of our gods," Margarita would answer. "Remember that they are servants and teachers," Grand Priest would say seriously. "Then I will see what kind of punishment I would put you." Grand Priest would scratch his fingers. All the angels and gods of destruction were present. Also the Hakaishins, even those who were not part of all this. "What just happened?" Gowas would ask, since he was not aware of anything and was not part of the plot. "I have to see who they were and who they were not," Senno-sama would say when watching them closely. "It's done," Senno-sama said at the time of raising his hand, "and disappear all those who acted against Goku and Vegeta. I guess we'll have to get new gods," Grand Priest would say. Bills and Champa would sigh at not being destroyed, since they would be the only two gods of destruction alive. "I'm glad it's all over," Champa would sigh. "Champa," Senno-sama would call. "Yes, sir," Champa would answer, terrified. "You have done very well to warn of this situation. Take," Senno-sama would say to give a candy to Champa. "Very grateful, my lord," Champa would say. "Bills," Senno-sama would call. "Sir." "Yes, sir," Bills would answer, nervous. "For you another for all the trouble," Senno-sama would say to give another candy to Bills. "Thank you, sir," Bills would answer. "Now you must take care of fulfilling your functions in the two universes until you get substitutes," Grand Priest would say. "We take care of the two universes?" Bills and Champa would ask at the same time, very surprised. "Is there a problem?" Senno-sama would ask. "Not at all, my lord," Champa and Bills would say at the same time. "The distribution will be from Universe 1 to Universe 6, Mr. Champa, and from Universe 7 to Universe 12, Mr. Bills," Grand Priest would say. "Senno-sama has left alive the Hakaishin who have not participated in this. Therefore, their souls were separated from the gods before they disappeared. Can I ask what happened to Kakaroto?" Vegeta would ask when looking at the angels who witnessed the betrayal. "It is in Universe 3. It was supplied with a potion that will leave it out of you as soon as you wake up," Margarita would say. "If you don't mind, I must take care of him," Vegeta would say. "I would take it to Universe 3 if you wish," Whis would offer. "Vegeta, try to bring Goku healthy and safe, so we can treat him," Senno-sama would ask. "I will do it," Vegeta would say. "We have a problem," Whis would say when observing his binoculars. "What happens now?" Vegeta would ask in a bad mood. "The planet where Goku was has completely disappeared," Whis would answer. "But how is that possible?" Vegeta would ask. Grand Priest would invoke his crystal ball to look for Goku. "Wow, apparently Mr. Goku is already waken up and is destroying everything," Grand Priest would say. "It can't be. That Kakaroto has already lost control," Vegeta would say. "Kakaroto was already angry at Goen's death. I can't imagine how he must be now," Vegeta would say and observe his hands. These trembled. "It can't be. Why do I feel this irrational fear?" Vegeta would ask. Goku would arrive with the teleportation. It was in his base form. By the time it had arrived, a curtain of air had generated around him. "Kakaroto, are you okay?" Vegeta would ask. "He doesn't look out of control, but I don't like his expression." Whis would say, "Something strange definitely happened to him. Hey Kakaroto, answer my question." Vegeta would ask. Vegeta would approach Goku, but he would observe him with anger. A flash of light would come out of Goku's eyes and Vegeta would be expelled far away. "It can't be," Vegeta would say. "His presence and determination are absolute. That's what the gods have achieved by betraying him." Whis would say, "I don't see him out of himself," Zeno-sama would say. "Although he looks calm, his presence inmates hostility." Grand Priest would explain, "There will be no other option than to calm him with blows." Vegeta would say at the time of transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. "If you allow me," Vegeta would say when observing Zeno-sama and Grand Priest. "Of course, go ahead," Grand Priest would answer politely. Vegeta threw himself agilely at Goku, but when trying to attack him, all his attacks would be useless. Vegeta gave it all, but Goku barely moved to defend himself. "It's not possible. He's in his basic form," Vegeta would say. Goku would hit Vegeta with a simple slap, but it was enough to leave him out of combat, since Vegeta would come out injured and fall to the ground, losing his transformation. "He has left him unconscious in one blow," Whis would say, amazed.
"It's time to finish him," said Quietel when standing with difficulty. Bermud would observe Jerez carefully. "I have a better idea," I would say Bermud with an evil smile. Meanwhile, Bills was on his planet. "Hey Wes, don't you feel a strange feeling?" I would ask Bills. "Now that you say it, the air feels so heavy," the angel would answer. "Could something be happening in the universe?" Vados and Champa would arrive on the planet of Bills. "I think I understand why that feeling," I would say Bills in a bad mood. "Mr. Champa, what is your visit due to?" I would ask Wes cordially. Champa would not say a word. He would look to one side, somewhat uncomfortable. "Come on, brother, say what you want once and for all," Bills would say impatiently. "Mr. Champa," Vados would say something annoying with him by pushing him with his staff. "Hey, if you have something to say it. If not, get out of here once and for all," Bills would say, annoying. "Okay, I'll tell you," Champa said. "The gods plan to eliminate Goku and Vegeta," Champa finally said. "I expected something like this. But I'm sure they could both end them," Bills laughed. "Also, if Zenosama discovers that they attack them in our universe, it will be very annoying and could eliminate them all." "They do not plan to attack him directly," Champa would say. "They plan to do something big to put him against Zenosama." "What do you mean?" Bills would ask worried. "I already said too much. Thank you that I did not decide to be in this plot," Champa would say. "Vados, it's time to go. Whis, look for Goku and Vegeta," Bills would order. Whis would use his staff to look for Goku and Vegeta, but he would not find Goku, only Vegeta, who ran away from his friends. "How strange," Whis would say. "Let's go to Earth," Bills would say. Bills and Whis would arrive on Earth. They would see Vegeta run away from Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten, who had recovered. Bills, with clicking his fingers, would generate an expansive wave that would throw the three away. "What's going on?" Bills would ask. "The gods have been causing problems," Vegeta would say. Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten would stand up again and launch against Vegeta again. Whis would lean his staff on the ground. A strange energy traveled to the ground, and when they reached those who were chasing Vegeta, they would stop. "What happened?" Piccolo, confused, would ask. "I do not remember how we got here," Goten would say. "They were being manipulated," Whis would explain.
"Where is Goku?" Bills would ask. "Hey, you three get out of here." "But Vegeta," Piccolo would say. "I told you to leave. I have more important things to attend to," Vegeta demanded. The three would leave, leaving Vegeta alone with Bills and Whis. "Kakarado went to look for the gods in search of revenge," Vegeta would say. "Revenge?" Bills would ask. "Gohan has died because of him," Vegeta would answer. Meanwhile, the gods were on the planet of the god of destruction of Universe 3. They had Goku in a bed. "Are you sure, Jerez, that this will work?" Quitella would ask. "With that, he will not calm down until a week later," Jerez smiled. Now they had Goku as a prisoner, and surely they planned to make Zeno-sama get angry with Goku and Vegeta to exterminate them. The gods of destruction were attentive to Goku, since his plan was risky. "We have to make sure to take Goku with Vegeta just before he wakes up," Jerez would say. "If he wakes up here, he will finish us." "I still have doubts about this. Surely Vegeta dies in a fight against Goku, but what will we do with him when he survives?" Arok would ask. Jerez and Bermut would observe seriously. They had not wanted to say their plan in depth, since it was very risky. "Listen, they are planning things in secret, without the consent of others," Arok would say, somewhat annoying. "The idea is that Goku and Vegeta fight each other. It is more likely that Vegeta dies and Goku is in poor condition. That's when we'll act," Bermud would say. "And what if Goku ends Vegeta easily when he wakes up the Ultra Instinct?" Arok would ask. "Remember that Goku has exceeded his own limits more than once in the Tournament of Power. Then we will make Goku travel to Zeno-sama's planet," Jerez would say. "Are you crazy?" Arok, terrified, would say. "This has gone too far," Sidra, terrified, would say. "We can't play with Goku this way. Zeno-sama will finish us all." "We can't back out either," Bermud would say. "We're already played." "Wait a minute," Ia would say when arriving. "The Kaioshin of Universe 3. Sidra is right. They have gone too far. We better leave Goku alone and ask for pertinent apologies." Mosco would begin to make synthetic sounds. I know that if Zeno-sama gets angry with the other gods of destruction, we will also disappear," Ia would answer annoyingly. "But if they continue this way, we will disappear anyway. I'm sure that if Zeno-sama sees how powerful this mortal is, he will understand our reasons." Quitella would say. "They should have consulted the Kaioshin before. They didn't ask for our help after getting to these circumstances." Furious, Ia would say. Mosco opened a small compartment in his mechanical forearm. By pressing a button, Ia would faint in an instant. "What did you do?" Arok would ask. Mosco would leave his robot to speak. Ia, although he is a Kaioshin, has replaced several parts of his body with mechanical parts. Therefore, he is an android. I just put him to sleep," Mosco would say. "You are a cheater," Bermud would laugh. "It will be fine. He will only sleep for a while and forget what happened. I have erased his memory about this," Mosco would say, and then enter his robot. "I have supplied the potion within the small nanobots that run through Goku's body," Jerez would explain. "Since the potion is not supplied directly, it will cost Goku's body more to get rid of it. He will be out of control for at least 5 days in a row. If he is out of control for 5 days destroying everything, he will surely die just from exhaustion." Wata, Quitella would laugh. Margarita's vessel would begin to sound. Then each of the vessels of all the angels would also do so one by one. "What does this mean?" Quitella would ask, scared. "He is the supreme priest," Margarita would say normally. "Right now?" Jerez would ask, terrified. "Quick, we have to hide Goku," Bermud would say. "But forget that all the angels are together. How will we explain that?" Quitella would ask. All the angels would answer the call at the same time. They didn't even wait. Arak would think, terrified. "Greetings, my dear children," the Grand Priest would say with a very gentle smile.
Gohan would roll several meters on the ground, but he was exhausted by the over-effort he had made. Then, Gohan would stand up with difficulty. "Gohan, stop wasting energy, or you will die," Goku would say. Gohan would fall on his knees and vomit blood. He was paying the price for forcing his ki. "Kakaroto, we have to feint him," Vegeta would say, "before he dies for forcing himself so much." Goku would use teleportation, and from one moment to another, he was behind Gohan. A simple blow to the back, and he would be unconscious, Goku would say. But Gohan would turn with the few forces he had left before Goku managed to feint him. Gohan would hug his father tightly and start screaming, "Kakaroto, take it off!" Vegeta warned, but it was too late. Gohan's body would light up completely, and they would explode thousands of pieces. Goku would be seriously injured. When the dust would begin to disappear, they couldn't find Gohan anywhere. "Gohan!" Goku would scream, looking for his trail, but he couldn't feel his ki. Vegeta would approach, lamenting Gohan's death, but Goku still didn't want to recognize him. "He must be around here," Goku would say while digging to look for him. "Vegeta, help me find him." "Kakaroto," Vegeta would say with a serious voice, "don't stay there." "We have to find Gohan," Goku would say furiously. Vegeta would show Goku a part of Gohan's uniform. "Accepted. Gohan self-destructed," Vegeta would say. "It can't be," Goku would say when he hit the ground. "Look at him cry," Gatella would make fun of him. "That happens to him for sneaking among the gods. What good would that do us?" Bermud would ask. "We're supposed to make Goku and Vegeta hate each other for loving us." "It's true, we're just making things worse," Jerez would say. "Hey, don't tell me you're going to retract from this," furious Gatella would say. "Are we all or no one in this?" "I told you, don't mess with these two," Sidra would say. "If we don't do something, they'll end us," Bermud would say. "I'll call Jiren." Goku would appear among the gods of destruction. He watched them all with hatred. "There are 10 of you. Champa and Bills are missing," Goku would say. "What are you doing here?" Gatella would ask, terrified. "I know you're behind us," Goku would say. "I managed to feel the ki of all of you at one point. Now everything is clear." Goku would watch the angels closely. "And you are also behind all this?" Goku would ask. "Angels are impartial beings. We don't make decisions. We only obey orders from our gods to destruction," Margarita would say, seriously. "Well, that cost my son's life, and they almost caused chaos in Universe 7, Goku would say. "We can't ask the angels to attack him, but if Goku gets angry with them on his own and attacks them, it will be different," Bermud would think. Goku would walk slowly towards the gods. Despite being hurt by Gohan's explosion, he wanted revenge at all costs. Goku would throw himself at Gatella, who was the one closest to him. He would hold him by the neck with great force. "You must have been the one with the idea. You are the most traitor of all," Goku would say. "Let me go or you will pay," Gatella would threaten. Goku would hit Gatella in the face and throw him away. "And how am I going to pay for it?" Goku would ask. "Come on, get up and don't be a coward. Hey, don't leave me alone with you." "We have to finish him now," I would say, Gatella nervous. The other gods of destruction looked hostile against Goku, but none of them would dare to attack him. "Look at them, they're a ball of cowards," I would say, Goku. "I bet they did all this because they're afraid of me and Vegeta. All because they are good for nothing, they're not able to train and be stronger." "Watch your words," I would say, Bardock, the god of destruction of Universe 5. Goku would increase his ki to the maximum, causing terror in the gods of destruction. Goku would throw Sidra. This would create a shield around him to defend himself. Goku, with a simple punch, would destroy the shield. "It can't be," I would say, Sidra. "Sidra's shields are impenetrable. How is it possible?" I would say, amazed. Goku would try to attack Sidra, but his body would be paralyzed. Bermude had used a technique on him that would immobilize him. "That's it. We have to attack him now," I would say, Bardock. "Hurry, it's a lot of pressure to resist," I would say, Bermude, as he sweated a drop on his forehead due to the stress of using that technique on Goku. All the gods of destruction would prepare Hakai's energy to disappear Goku, but Goku would explode his ki, freeing himself from Bermude's technique. The gods of destruction would leave several meters away from Goku's energy. "This happens to you for messing with my son," I would say, Goku furious. Goku would knock down each of the gods of destruction as soon as one approached. None of them could do anything against Goku. "Don't you think this situation has gone out of control?" I would say, Campari, to Margarita. "If the gods of destruction are not able to face a mortal, it is no longer your responsibility. It's the price of your incompetence," I would reply, Margarita. "We're talking about someone who has managed to rival the gods, despite their short age," Campari said. "All this bores me. To be honest, it seems like a waste of time," I would say, Hi. Evo, Rikun, and Bardock would throw at the same time towards Goku. They would attack with their special technique each. Goku would create a ki barrier, supporting the attacks without meaning anything to him. "Good for nothing," I would say, Goku furious. Goku would attack the three, and of few attacks, he would leave them out of combat. Jairus would materialize an arc and arrow with his ki and shoot directly at Goku. Goku would dodge the arrow by moving his face to one side. The arrow, following its course, would turn and follow Goku. Goku dodged the arrow, but it did not stop following him. Goku would finally hold the arrow in his hand. "You fell," I would say, Jairus. Jairus would close his fist. The arrow would explode in Goku's face. After the explosion, Goku's face would begin to bleed. Even so, it was not enough to stop him. "How dare you?" I would say, Goku furious. Jairus would throw another arrow at Goku, but Goku would go quickly to the goddess of destruction. He would take the arrow in his hand, and before Jairus tried something, he would support it on Jairus' chest, exploding in front of her, and Jairus would fly seriously injured. "That damn thing is exaggeratedly strong," I would say, Jairus, before fainting. Moscow would appear behind Goku. He would hold him between his giant hands. Goku would manage to separate the hands of Moscow, but the god of destruction would release a gas that would leave Goku unconscious. "Well done, Moscow," I would say, Bermude.
"We must find out what happens, but without drawing attention," Vegeta would say. "I know, but we cannot leave our friends alone. Maybe they use them to affect us," Goku would say. "Hey, where did you get in?" Bulma would ask. "We were very worried about you. We've been waiting for you for hours. We thought something had happened to you," Furious Milk would say.
Don't worry, everything is in order, Goku smiled. The gods of destruction were still watching Goku and Vegeta. It was time to act. Very well, it's time, Moscow. Give the order, Sheraz would say. The lights in Moscow began to shine with various shades of colors. I hope that idea of yours works, Burmid would say. Moscow's nanobots contain my emotion control potion. Once I activate them, all Goku and Vegeta's friends will hate them for no reason, Sheraz would say. I still think it's a stupid idea. They couldn't fight each other, Burmid would say. Divide and conquer, Kitela would say. It would have been smarter to use that potion between Goku and Vegeta and let them kill each other, Burmid would say, without approving the plans of the other gods. Besides, we're just wasting time. I could perfectly send Jiren to finish them off, lying to him that they did something in Universe 11. I know he wouldn't question me. Your Jiren was defeated among all. What guarantees do you have that that won't happen again? Kitela would say, making fun of Burmid. The potion only works for a certain time in the body. That's why we send them to their friends to work while they roam everywhere, Sheraz would say. In addition, those two are so powerful that they will surely detect the nanobots and destroy them by increasing their ki. Now, with the stimulus of Moscow's order, they will attack them without rest. Hey, Milk, I'm hungry, Goku would say. Milk wouldn't answer Goku. She would put a strange expression and slap him. Hey, it wasn't that bad, Goku would say, complaining. Bulma would take out a weapon and shoot Vegeta with a laser. Hey, what's going on with you? Vegeta would say, furious, dodging the attack. Krillin, Piccolo, and the little Goten and Trunks would attack Goku and Vegeta with everything. Someone is controlling them, Goku would say as he covered himself from the attacks. Anyway, it's not that they can do much, Vegeta would say. Everyone would attack Goku and Vegeta without ceasing. His eyes turned red and didn't say a single word. The problem is not what they do to us, but that we could kill them if we don't control our strength, Goku would say. They seem to be consumed by anger. We just have to leave them unconscious, Vegeta would say. Goku and Vegeta would transform into Super Saiyan Blue. One hit to each would leave them all unconscious. Both Saiyans were floating in the air while Bulma kept shooting and Milk was unable to reach them. What do we do? There are no more Dragon Balls to help us, Goku would ask. We have to find those responsible, Vegeta would say. 17 and 18 would arrive, and although they were furious, they did not attack them. Let's see what happens, 18 would say. Something is affecting our organisms. They generate a feeling of hatred and sense towards you, 17 would say. But you don't look affected, Goku would realize. We hate you, but we can control it, 18 would say. Remember that we are androids. We can feel something that affects our body, but logically, it has less effect on us, 17 would say. 17 would connect a fist blow to Goku's stomach, taking it by surprise. Hey, what's wrong with you? Goku would ask. I'm sorry, but I really needed to do it, 17 would say, upset. You better get out of here, 18 would warn. Goku and Vegeta would flee while they thought about how to solve what happened to their friends. Then a key ball would interrupt their step. Hey, Kakarado, if everyone feels senseless anger, this will get ugly, Vegeta would say. Gohan, son, please react, Goku would ask. Gohan would scream, creating a great ki explosion which would take Goku and Vegeta by surprise. Damn, it's the anger that makes it strong. I could even get over it if I proposed it. Gohan, I don't want to hurt you, Goku would scream as he tried to defend himself from his son's attacks. Gohan was careful not to hurt him too much. Gohan looked angry. He would throw everything at Goku and Vegeta to fight them. Even so, Gohan's level was not enough. Stop, Gohan, react, Goku would say. But Gohan would not stop attacking. Gohan would join his hands to throw a Kamehameha at both of them. When attacking, Goku would reject the attack with just one hand.
"There's no way he's right, especially someone like him," Vegeta would say. "It would be better to leave him unconscious at once." "Wait, Vegeta," Goku would say, worried. Vegeta would go to Gohan, and with a hammer blow would knock him down. Gohan would fall to the ground, creating a large crater when he fell. "If we don't stop him now, it will be difficult for us later," Vegeta would say when flying directly towards Gohan. Vegeta would stop for a strange feeling. He slightly felt Gohan's ki increase. Vegeta would move aside at the right time. From Gohan's crater, a ray of ki would come straight at him. He had barely touched his uniform. "Gohan," Goku would say, surprised to notice Gohan's level. Gohan would come out of the rubble. He had eyes in white. He was totally possessed by anger. His muscles would grow, his veins would stand out, forcing his ki and exceeding its limits. "It's time for you to sleep," Vegeta would say, when hitting Gohan with a punch. But surprisingly, Gohan didn't move. He was still as if he were a statue. Vegeta was surprised by Gohan's resistance. "It's like Broly," Goku would say. Gohan would create a ki storm around him. He would destroy everything in his path, while Goku and Vegeta should cover themselves. They would try to approach Gohan, but they couldn't move forward. All this energy is due to his state of mind. Gohan, when he gets angry, becomes very strong, Goku would say. "If he continues like this, we will be in trouble," Vegeta would say. Gohan did not stop expelling energy. Goku and Vegeta would increase their ki, and despite the difficulty, they would manage to get through that great energy that made it difficult for them to pass. Once at short distance, each one would hit Gohan, throwing him away.
If they get to do something against us, they couldn't touch us. We are stronger than them, Vegeta would say. But they are still gods, Bills warned. The gods are millions of years old. Wisdom and many tricks, Bills warned. Mr. Bills is very right. It will be better if they walk carefully, Whis warned. Meanwhile, all the gods of destruction and their Kaioshians were in a remote conversation using their angels' shields. "Well, what do you plan to do with these Saiyans?" Jaraz would ask. "We can't allow two mortals to pass over us that way. Besides, that stupid Bills must be laughing at us behind our backs," Kitela would say. "I don't like Bills and those two Saiyans at all, but I will not participate in anything that harms them," Champa would say. "You're a coward," Sidra would say. "You're the least suitable to speak. Now you're the god of the weakest destruction," Champa would say. "Well, if you're not going to take precautions, you better go," Ru would say. And Champa would stick out her tongue and cut off the communication. "I didn't expect such an act from you," Shide would say. "There are lines that I do not plan to cross. Besides, Goku is very close to Senno-sama. What we do against him will not go wrong," Champa would say. A few days would pass while Goku and Vegeta were on Earth with their families. Suddenly, a strange being appears among them asking for their help. "You must be the mortals with the ki of the gods," the subject would say. "Who are you?" Vegeta would ask in a bad mood. "I am Formiron, one of the many guardians of hell. I need your urgent help," Formiron would ask. In the sky, yellow clouds would begin to form. "Those are the clouds that separate the beyond hell," Goku would say, worried. "Bills told me I could count on you," Formiron would say. "Someone named Frieza has created a pearl that distorts reality. With it, he will mix the world of the living with that of the dead. We have to avoid it," Goku would say. "Wait, Kakaroto, what if it's a trap?" Vegeta warned. "This guy doesn't give me a good spine." "Vegeta, he came from Bills. Also look at the sky," Goku would answer. "I'll take them before it's too late," Formiron would say. Formiron would hold Goku and Vegeta and transport them to Hell. In an instant, they would be in an area where the sky had yellow clouds and red rivers of blood. "I haven't been here in a long time," Vegeta would say, remembering his stay in Hell while he was dead. That key, it's frees us, there is no doubt, Goku would say. Goku and Vegeta would go with Formiron after Frieza. They would arrive at a temple where they would see Frieza support a pearl on a pedestal. It's too late, Frieza would say. Vegeta would undoubtedly attack Frieza with a great ray of ki going through his stomach. But despite the great hole he had left him, he would continue as if nothing. Impossible, Vegeta would say, surprised. Now that I have placed the pearl here, the living and the dead coexist, Frieza would explain. Is all this because of the pearl? Goku would ask. That's right, this pearl is the cause of everything. And you can't do anything, Frieza said with a malicious smile. Kakaroto, wait! He would try to stop Vegeta, but Goku would attack the pearl by fleeing it. It's over, Goku would say. I don't think so, Frieza laughed. Frieza would begin to laugh as he disappeared, turning into smoke. The same would happen with Formiron. A thunder would begin to be heard inside the temple. When they left, they would see streams of lava coming out of the ground. The gods of destruction and the Hakaishins were seeing it all from their universes. That Goku did it. He really did it, Katela would say. He has destroyed the pearl that separates the world of the dead from the world of the living, Jaraz said. As soon as Zeno-sama finds out, he will disappear, Jaraz laughed. Shamsa did a great job creating those illusions, Katela would say. It only remains that Zeno-sama takes action with those two, Ru would say. Vegeta, what do you think happened? Curious Goku would ask. The gods betrayed us, Vegeta would answer. Now they have to pay. But Vegeta, how are you so sure of that? Goku would ask. Goku and Vegeta, from one moment to another, were on the planet of Zeno-sama. They were in the presence of the King of Everything and Grand Priest. Both watched them very seriously. Can you tell me what you just did? Zeno-sama would ask, upset. We feel it, Zeno-sama. It was a trap, Goku would say. They just destroyed a pearl that supports reality. They have caused a great damage to both universes. Grand Priest would say that very furiously as he would see Goku and Vegeta. Now the two Saiyans had gotten into big problems with the King of Everything and Grand Priest. Zeno-sama and Grand Priest would seriously see Goku and Vegeta. They looked very angry with them. They have caused a great imbalance in all reality, Grand Priest would say. I want to ask, why, if that pearl was so necessarily important, was in a place for anyone to destroy it? Vegeta would seriously ask. Vegeta, be careful how you speak to them. They are the most supreme beings among all, Goku warned. I don't know, Kakaroto. It seems false, Vegeta would say seriously. Zeno-sama says if they want to be forgiven for life, they will have to move away from the gods. Otherwise, the planet Earth will disappear, Grand Priest would say. The Earth only? What happened, Zeno-sama? Before you were more afraid, Goku would ask. Keep silent, Zeno-sama, or I will disappear you. Vegeta smiled when he realized everything. He would throw a ki beam towards Grand Priest and another towards Zeno-sama. I knew it. They are also illusions, Vegeta would say. Then we never broke the magic reed, Goku would say. Her name is Pearl, Vegeta would answer. The image of Grand Priest and Zeno-sama disappeared. They were again in hell. It seems that everything was an illusion. Those damned gods used an illusion inside another illusion, Goku would say. Vegeta would observe all hell around him. The chaos continued. The streams of lava continued to flow.
Now I wonder if everything was an illusion, or is there something real in this? Vegeta would say seriously. Well, we'll have to find out. Goku would say when he took his fingers to the forehead to carry out the teleportation. But Vegeta would stop it. Remember that those illusions were so powerful that they even managed to imitate the ki of others, Vegeta warned. It is true. But what will we do? Goku would ask. We must be careful. Bill already warned us of something like this, Vegeta said. I know. Let's go see Zeno-sama, Goku would say. Kakaroto, you're an idiot! What did I just tell you? Vegeta would say furiously. Vegeta, take my hand and trust me. Goku would ask. What do you say? Vegeta would say, confused. Trust me. We'll go see Zeno-sama, Goku would say. Vegeta would hold Goku's hand with distrust, and both would leave Hell, arriving with Enma and Iozama. Kakaroto, you didn't say that, Vegeta would say, surprised. Exactly. That's what I said, Goku laughed. Vegeta smiled as he had realized the idea of Goku. Wow, you made fun of our illusionist, Vegeta would say. Those damn cheaters, Katella would say furiously. I'm sorry, sir. I made an illusion of Zeno-sama and Grand Priest, but they got ahead of me, Shanza would say, embarrassed. Even so, now they think it was all a lie, and they think they never destroyed the pearl. But that did happen, Geras would say. Enma and Iozama were confused by Goku and Vegeta's sudden visit. Hey, what are you doing here? Enma and Iozama would ask. I'm sorry. We came to know if you know anything about a round stone that controls Hell or something like that, Goku would say. Pearl, Kakaroto, Pearl. You can't be so distracted, Vegeta would say, upset. Do you mean the Pearl of the Underworld? Enma and Iozama would ask. Yes, that one, Goku would say. Of course I know her. The Pearl of the Underworld is the one that separates the living from the dead. Its existence causes the dead to be dead and the living to be alive. Enma and Iozama would explain. Why do you ask? One of Enma and Iozama's assistants would arrive alarmed. He had noticed something very unusual in the souls that came from the world of the living. Great Lord, the souls have stopped coming, his assistant would announce. Goku, Vegeta, what the hell did you do now? Enma and Iozama would ask furious. Well, you see, it was a little accident, Goku laughed shyly. Goku and Vegeta would take a few minutes to explain to Enma and Iozama what had happened. I can't believe they destroyed the pearl. It will take years to repair it. And while it is broken, life will be chaos in Universe 7. Enma and Iozama would say, furious. Well, if the pearl was so important, they would not have left it in such an accessible place, Vegeta would say in a bad mood. Vegeta is right. Since we got there, anyone could do it. You're part of the blame, Goku would say. The Pearl of Hell is indestructible. I can't even destroy it, Enma and Iozama would say. A huge power is needed to destroy it. But of course it is you who walk among the gods. I guess it's a little detail, Goku would say with a laugh. Now what will we do, Vegeta? Goku would ask. The only solution is to use the Dragon Spheres of Namek, since those of the Earth were used 6 months ago, Vegeta would answer. But what about the illusions? Goku would ask. We'll see, Vegeta would say. Goku and Vegeta would arrive at the planet Namek, and they would begin to look for the Dragon Spheres to resolve the destruction of the Pearl of Hell. The other gods of destruction were aware of all the steps of Goku and Vegeta. We would have to warn Zeno-sama before they rebuild the Pearl, Sidra would say. How would you explain to Zeno-sama that we know that this is happening? Katella would ask. If Zeno-sama discovers that we're conspiring against Goku and Vegeta, he will disappear from all of us. Tell me, Moscow, did you prepare our plan B? Geras would ask. Moscow would answer making sounds with his horn. Perfect. Let them continue with theirs, Geras would say. Very good, Jansa. Keep distracting them so they lose time, Katella would order. Jansa would observe the crystal ball and would create a new illusion about Goku and Vegeta. Both Saiyans were about to finish gathering the dragon scares, but they would see Bills in front of them. I am aware of what has happened, Bills would say. Mr. Bills, can I explain it? Goku would say. There is nothing to explain, Bills would say as he prepared a key ball in his hand. Bills, wait, Goku would say.
but Vegeta would put his hand in front of Goku to stop him. Vegeta would close his eyes. His ki would begin to transmit peace as it was covered by a thin line of white light. "Vegeta?" Goku would ask, confused. Vegeta would open his eyes suddenly. A flash of light would come out of his eyes and Bills would disappear completely. "It wasn't Bills," Goku would say. "Of course not," Vegeta would answer. Jansa would faint after his ears and nose bled. "It can't be," Beerus would say. "That Vegeta managed to locate Jansa here through his ki. I think it will be better to take a step back. These two are not to be underestimated," Sidra would say. Bermuda would put his hand on Sidra's shoulder and squeeze it hard. "Here, we are all in the same. If you leave, you will pay dearly," Bermuda would threaten. Sidra would have no choice and would have been forced to cooperate against her will. After a couple of hours, Goku and Vegeta would manage to gather the Dragon Spheres, summon the Dragon God, and ask him for the wish to rebuild the Pearl of Hell. "That wish is easy. I can fulfill it," Dragon God would say. "Very well, Vegeta. We have done it," Goku would say. Goku and Vegeta would return to the Beyond seeing Enma Daiyozama. "Very well. We have already solved it," Goku would say. "Anyway, I have chaos here," furious Enma Daiyozama would say. "It is possible that there is a dead man wandering around the world of the living, so if I find out that there is someone, I will send them to you," Enma Daiyozama would point out. "We do not have to do your job. Keep that silly pearl in a safer place," Vegeta would say, something impatient. "What did you say?" Enma Daiyozama would ask after hitting his desk. "Don't be angry, Enma, but Vegeta is right. We better go," Goku would say. Goku and Vegeta would return to Earth, although they were still waiting for something else to happen. "Open your eyes, Kakaroto. I know you're distracted, but remember that this happened since our fight against Zeno-sama."
In the past few days, the Dragon Ball universe has been buzzing with fresh updates, and honestly, there's a little bit of everything. We've got a brand new game on the horizon, an unexpected transformation making waves, some long-lost anime footage resurfacing after decades, amazing collectibles for fans, and even a look back at a controversy that almost shook the series years ago. Let's start with the hottest topic right now, Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra. Bandai Namco, together with Gumbarone Studios, has just announced this brand new title, and here's the kicker, it's going to be completely free to play. The release date is set for September 9th, and it'll be available across almost every platform you can think of. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PC via Steam, and even iOS and Android. The game focuses on fast-paced team battles where coordination and strategy will be the key to victory. Fans who love competitive matches are already hyped, and it looks like this could bring a fresh wave of energy to the Dragon Ball gaming community. Now let's shift gears to something that hits us right in the nostalgia. Recently, fans were stunned when a 35-year-old piece of Dragon Ball Z history resurfaced. This was a promotional clip, originally broadcast in Japan during the Namek saga back in 1990. The footage shows Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, and even Shenron in a very unusual setting, created specifically as a special Children's Day broadcast. What makes it even more fascinating is that Vegeta appears with a look that didn't really fit the continuity at the time, which makes this rare find even more valuable to longtime fans. And speaking of new visuals, the world of Dragon Ball Legends, the mobile game, just delivered something massive. Ultra Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. That's right, Vegeta has now officially joined the Ultra Transformation roster with his iconic GT look, and it's already available in the game. The release also came with a huge campaign, including a special trailer and the return of Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. Fans who play Legends even have the chance to grab rewards like Chrono Crystals through ongoing promotions. For the collectors out there, Banpresto has just dropped 2 new figures that are already making noise in the fandom. The first one features Gohan as the Great Saiyaman without his helmet, standing about 18 centimeters tall, part of the Clarice line with cool translucent effects. The second one is none other than Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, released under the Blood of Saiyans line. Both figures are priced at around €35, and honestly, they're must-haves for anyone who loves displaying the coolest versions of Dragon Ball characters.
But not all the news is about fun and celebrations. Some fans have also been revisiting a controversial chapter in Dragon Ball's history. Roughly 14 years ago, the franchise faced a major scandal involving music plagiarism. The case was linked to composer Kenji Yamamoto, who was accused of reusing copyrighted tracks without authorization. The controversy became such a big deal that it nearly damaged the reputation of the anime and forced the producers to make immediate changes. While that chapter is behind us now, it remains one of the most shocking behind-the-scenes stories in Dragon Ball's long history. So, to sum it up, we've got a brand new free game coming soon, a legendary lost piece of anime history back in the spotlight, powerful new transformations in Dragon Ball Legends, amazing figures for collectors, and even a look back at a controversy that almost shook the series years ago. Dragon Ball continues to evolve, surprise, and keep its fans talking after all these years. And honestly, if the last few days are any indication, there's still plenty more to come.